My dead best friend just walked into my bedroom and whispered that I needed to stop looking for his body. The whole room turned to ice, my phone slipping from my hands and crashing onto the hardwood floor because I had literally just buried Julian 3 hours ago. I stared at his perfect, unblemished face, my heart hammering like a trapped bird as he reached out to touch my shoulder. "You have to stop asking questions, Leo," he said, his voice entirely devoid of any human warmth or emotion. "The people who did this to me are watching you right now, and they do not tolerate curiosity." My throat went entirely dry, my eyes flicking to the open window where the cold night wind was howling through the trees. Julian had disappeared into the restricted woods behind our school 2 weeks ago, and when the search team finally recovered him, his chest was completely crushed from an apparent cliff fall. I attended his closed casket funeral. I wept with his heartbroken mother, and yet here he was, standing right beside my bed without a single scratch on his skin. "You are not Julian," I choked out, backing away until my spine hit the cold plaster wall. He tilted his head with a mechanical, unsettling precision, a faint, metallic clicking sound echoing from the back of his throat. "I am what remains of him, Leo," he whispered, his eyes wide and completely unblinking in the dark. He pulled back his sleeve, exposing a glowing synthetic seam running straight down his forearm, revealing intricate silver wires pulsing beneath a layer of fake, artificial flesh. My mind fractured into pure terror because Julian had been replaced by a machine, meaning the boy I grew up with was truly gone forever. "They are tracking my signal, and if they find you awake, they will harvest your memories next," he warned, stepping closer as the glowing blue light from his arm illuminated the dark corners of my room. I realized with absolute horror that our entire town was a cover for a sickening experiment, and everyone I loved was in immediate mortal danger. Julian grabbed my wrist with a crushing, superhuman grip, forcing me toward the open window as heavy footsteps began pounding up our wooden staircase. "They are already inside the house, Leo," he hissed, his synthetic voice cracking under the sudden immense pressure. I heard my father scream from the hallway downstairs, a sound of absolute agony that shattered my soul and confirmed my worst fears. My own family was being targeted, and this terrifying machine was the only entity trying to save my life. I kicked the window screen open, diving out into the freezing rain, just as my bedroom door was violently ripped off its hinges by a dark, hulking shadow. I hit the wet grass hard, rolling into the bushes as bright flashlights began cutting through the thick, blinding downpour. I looked back up at my window, watching the shadowy figures restrain the synthetic Julian, his robotic voice letting out one final mechanical cry before going completely silent. I scrambled to my feet, sprinting blindly into the black abyss of the restricted woods, knowing I could never trust another human being again. My best friend had lied to protect me from the dark project, but his mechanical sacrifice had just started a war for my survival. I stopped running when I saw a glowing facility hidden beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree, realizing the true horror was just beginning. My dead best friend just walked into my bedroom and whispered that I needed to stop looking for his body.